So we need to open our app, the device ordering app, so we can start selecting some items and create a new row. I'm gonna go to compare to items, and then I'm gonna submit the request for this device. Then my record was successfully added, and now if I go back to my flow, I can see now it's running. So the trigger got started correctly, and here my row is added. I need to give it a couple of minutes because this is the very first time that this is running. Of course, once it runs the backend process that we talked about, this is gonna show up in my email. So let's give it a minute or two for it to be ready. Okay, so the backend process has ended, and as you can see, I got a new email in my inbox, and I have the approval request that comes from here. So you can see that this is the title that we defined. We also see who requested this approval. We also have here the information that we included in the details. Really important is taking a look at the contribution, because we didn't do that calculation here. We did it in the actual Dataverse when we were creating the calculated column. So this one was done automatically by Dataverse, so that's pretty great. And here is where our approver will have the options to either approve or reject. So in this case, we're gonna go with approved, so we can see that the whole true path works. I'm gonna click on submit, and yeah, now it's telling me that I approved this request. If I go to my flow, I open this, I can see here that we started and waited for the approval properly. Then a condition started, it went to the through path, then the row was updated. Now it's, if I search for status, so it's no, not it's the status, the other one, you can see here that it's properly set as approved. Then we have our email that I also got here in my mailbox, so you can see it's here. Okay, so now I'll go back. I need to go back and edit this flow because we have added so far only the true side of the condition. Now we're gonna set up the false side of it. So I will just go here, back to edit, and I will open the condition. Then I have this true. I'm gonna add actions on this right side of the screen. We can add action, and I can start typing Dataverse, update a row, and select the right item. But I can also use these three dots here, do copy to my clipboard. It's still in preview, as you can see, but I really like this functionality. It saves, I think it saves a lot of time. If I do this, if I select the three dots and then copy to my clipboard, I'm just gonna, if I just go to my clipboard, I'm gonna see it here. So I can just click on it, and it's gonna show me the very same thing that I had set up on this left side of the screen, but here it's gonna show in the new place where I pasted it. So it's pretty useful. We save the time of selecting again the table, selecting the row ID, and then the UTC. Now what I'm gonna do is just change this approval status to reject. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the email because I don't want to set up everything from scratch. So I will go here, my clipboard, and then send an email. For the send an email, we need to change a little bit more than just the status, because you know, we need to change the subject and a little bit of the body, because we need to let them know why that happened. So your device was not approved. That is what we're gonna put here. Okay, so now we're gonna change this to something like sorry. So you notice how this is showing bold. I don't want that bold, so I will remove it using the designer. Then of course we don't need an estimated ship date because the request was not approved. Now we are good to test the right side. You see how we set up really fast this right side of the screen. So that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm getting an error here. It's in update. It's in sent email to. It's telling me that this requested by. You see how I here selected requested by, and it's mapping to update a row. Just when you copy and paste, make sure that this don't happen to you. Just select again the requested by. So I'm gonna save, and this time we should be good. Okay, looking good. Then we need to, of course, submit another request so we can see this working. I have already selected my devices and go with this. I'm gonna click on submit device request. And I will just open a new tab here for Power Automate. The first time it took a couple of minutes for us to receive the notification because there were some backend processes running for the approval. This time the backend processes has run, and you can see how I already got the email in my inbox. So here's the email, the new request that I just submitted, and before moving to this to rejecting this so we can test the false part of this path, if I go to the new tab that I opened for Power Automate, here I have in the left side of the screen, I have here this section that says action items, and here I can click on approvals. So when I click on approvals, I can see everything that is related to the approvals that I've gotten. So I submitted another request a couple of minutes ago just to do a quick test. You can see in the sent, those are the ones that I've sent to somebody else. In the history, those are the ones that are closed. This is the one that we approved a couple of minutes ago when we were testing the true side of the path. And if I go back to received, here I can approve or reject from here. We have the email in our inbox where we can do it, and this is pretty convenient if we don't want users to leave their day-to-day tools that they use, because they can do this from email. And it's important to mention that they're also going to get a notification from Teams where they can see all the approvals that are going in and out, and we're going to see that in a couple of minutes. So that's also pretty convenient because they can do it from there. We can do it from here, from the email. And finally, we can also do it from the approval center. This is what we were talking at the beginning of the lab. So this is, if I go here and I click on approve, I can add the outcome and then add a quick comment and then confirm. This will be the very same effect that we had in the other place where we were approving or rejected from the email. For this example, I'm gonna reject it. We're gonna go here with submit. You can see here after I rejected that request, I got my my email here telling me that it was not approved. I can see who was the approver, their email, when it was rejected, and all of this information. So this is pretty useful for the end user to know who did it and why they did it, and also the message that we set up in the email. So we see now that the right side of our flow is now also working. If I go here to the run of my flow and I see the false path was followed, the email was sent. I also have here my email, and yep, I can see that it ran properly. If I go back to the approval center and I refresh, I shouldn't have anything pending. So you see here, I don't have anything. If I see on sent, I'm gonna see anything either. And if I see on history, here's where we have everything that has been completed. And here in the outcome, we can see whatever they say, if yes or no. Okay, so now we are in Teams and I got some notifications right here. I'm gonna submit one additional request real quick so we can see how it looks from Teams. Just go to play, compare, and submit. Then let's give it just a minute. Yeah, you see how I got my new device here. I got the email, you can see here on my tab that I just got something new into my inbox, but I also got this notification in Teams. I don't think it was shown in the screen, but there was like a pop-up here in my right side of the screen where I could see that I got a new approval request. And if I go to the activity feed, I see here everything that we have been working with today about these approvals, and I can also do the approval or the rejection from here. So this is pretty cool because our users can approve or reject from the approval center, or if they don't want to leave their day-to-day tools like the email and Teams, they can definitely do it from those two sites as well. So I can do different things here. I can approve or reject if I click on approve. We also have the approval center here. You can see I have the same information that I had here in Power Automate. I have it here on Teams as well. I also got notification that my approval request was approved. So it's pretty great because this information is everywhere and our users can be up to date and following up with the request. So this is pretty cool. We have all of this information available here as well. I also have here a section to select where is the environment and all of that. Now I'm gonna go back to my flow and I will edit. Now that we are talking about Teams, we know how important it has become in the last couple months. A lot of people has even stopped using the email and trying to use more Teams so they can have more immediate communication. So what we're gonna do is to add a Teams notification, and this can replace the email, or we can do either or, we can do both of them. That depends a lot on how your organization manages communication. That depends a lot on the policies. Do you prefer Teams? Do you prefer Outlook? That depends a lot on how it works. Just for us to see that, we're gonna add a notification here. Okay, so I will go ahead and select Teams, then post message in a chat or channel. Okay, now we're gonna post as the flow bot so users know that this is an automated message, and we're gonna post it in a chat. Then it's gonna ask us who's gonna be the recipient and what's gonna be the message. The recipient is gonna be the requested by. We have been working with this one since the beginning. I'm just gonna copy this and paste it here. You can see how it takes everything that I got from email, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go with the three dots, copy to my clipboard, and then add action, my clipboard, select this one. Now in the right side, I'm just gonna check and remove this requested by section. I'm gonna replace it by the requested by that I should be using, and then I'm gonna just get this, copy and paste. So I'm just gonna save, and you can see that now we have the two paths, and we are updating a row to set it up as approved or rejected. We are sending an email, and we are also sending a notification. So let's go ahead and send another final request so we can see this working. Okay, so we're good to go. The new request is in. Yep, I got the notification in my email. I got the notification in Teams. Here it is. Can approve from here, can approve from the email. And finally, once this is approved, yep, it's good. And we should be getting a message from the bot in a minute or two. Yeah, so I just got the notification from the bot. You see how this is a Power Automate chat. It's a brand new chat. And yeah, it's telling me here that my device has been approved. I got my estimated ship date and I got the response summary that we were talking about. And again, this is very similar to the email that we got, letting us know that it was approved. So this communication can happen in the way that you would like it to happen, because Power Automate has a lot of different options that we can work with. You can see how in less than an hour we have been able to implement a complete approval workflow with 2 different paths, and that is working perfectly fine. So this ends our lab, the very last lab of our training. Again, we have learned a lot on this lab. We have learned to create approval workflows, apply conditional logic. We have learned about the approval center. We have seen how Teams also has this great implementation for approvals, also with Outlook. And finally, we also learned how to integrate the Power Apps with Power Automate, how the 2 processes can come together. One is the user interface, one is what the user is going to see, and one is the backend process that supports that other main app that we built. So keep in mind that these 2 tools can come together. Sometimes you can build solutions that work on their own, but most of the time you're going to build things that will require the 2 tools to talk to each other. And I guess that's it for all our labs. Congratulations on making it to the last lab of the hands-on training. I hope that you learned a lot, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.